David Handschuh is the visiting ethics professor at the U of A's journalism department. He is a renowned photographer who worked for the New York Daily News, taught at NYU, has won a variety of awards and a Pulitzer nomination. Handschuh was present at the attack on the World Trade Center in New York City on September 11th. His bones were crushed and he was buried under debris after the second tower was hit. After recovering from his injuries, Handschuh began discussing ethics and the dangers photographers face due to being in proximity to extremely stressful situations and dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. When talking about Pulitzer-winning photographs and the pressures of spot news photography, Handschuh clarifies the dangers photographers face.
And spot news photography, by definition, will most likely put both the photographer and the subject at risk of emotional and physical harm. Photographers go out there every day under stressful, dangerous situations, and often without regard for their personal safety, document the truth. And while the Pulitzer Prize clearly celebrates that work, I'm amazed continuously by the stream of exceptional images by photographers, both paid and amateur, from around the universe.
Greg Marinovich's photo of an Nkata man on fire during the time of apartheid in South Africa shows absolute brutality.
Absolute brutality. Absolute anger and brutality. Not easy to look at, not fun to look at. I think in today's standards of what we've witnessed over the past year on the level of inhumanity, this is amateur level, but still the brutal realization that human anger could get to that level, and the risk that the photographer put himself at for capturing that moment. You know, I think most Americans, this story might not have even stood on its own. It might have been part of a story on a summary on violence in South Africa years ago, and I think 99.9 out of 100 Americans probably would not have even stopped and looked at that story. Sometimes it takes a very, very strong photo to make us look at a very important issue.
Handschuh finally discusses the public scrutiny surrounding Kevin Carter's photograph of a starving Sudanese child at a United Nations feeding station.
But I don't know enough to know if the kid was in danger. I don't know if I had food with me, if the child was so malnourished that he could even eat safely. You know, could he have picked up the child and brought the child to a safer environment? Maybe. But, you know, who am I to second guess? We love to shoot the piano player, and often the person with the camera is the person who, if that photograph wasn't taken, the eyes of the world would not have looked at an issue. Why didn't you help? It's not my problem, but you didn't do the right thing. It's easy. Okay, rightful indignance.
This is Alexandra Blacout for the Razorback Reporter.